Hello class, welcome back. It's week 2 of the super fun ornament project where we get to practice our knowledge of color value. So you will see the things we'll need this week in front of you. Scissors. We will need a white color pencil or oil pastel or paint, white paint. And then I'm going to use a green too. So you'll also want a green for the leaves, the pine needles, and the branches on the pine tree will be green. And then I'll have white also to represent snow or ice. Okay, and it'll also just give it nice contrast to use the white. You'll also need white if you're working on your bubbles. The white is great for contrast. Okay, so if you did bubbles last week, great, awesome. You can finish covering your black paper with bubbles this week. Now for the ornaments, we need to cut them out. If you did planets or any other round object like fruit, you'll need to cut those out as well. I have mine already cut here. I'm going to set those to the side. I will be showing you how to cut out these ornaments right now. Okay, and then I also have 2 more ornaments that I haven't shown you yet. These are the painted ones that I will also cut out. Let's go ahead and start with the colored pencil. So I showed you a few different types of methods and mediums to use for color value. I showed you oil pastels, and I showed you how to use colored pencils to create color value, and watercolor paint to create color value. Okay. So you must have chosen one of those, whether you were at home or at school. Now notice how I'm cutting. You might be really good at cutting, but some of us need some cool reminders and tips. Let me show you. I am actually rotating the paper slowly and only opening and closing the scissors a little bit. And I'm just doing little slices as I turn my circle slowly around. There it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out my oil pastel, where I got to blend yellow oil pastels with orange. Notice again how I'm rotating the paper and cutting off anything that I don't need here, anything that went over the line, any color that I didn't need. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this around while just opening and closing my scissors a little bit so I can get a nice circle. Okay, there is my oil pastel ornament. Now I'll cut out these that I did with watercolors. Same thing, you just open and close your scissors a little bit while you rotate the paper around. There's one. There's another. Slowly cutting around my circles to try to keep that nice circle that I traced. Rotating the paper and just cutting with the scissors a little bit. All right, now let me grab my other ornaments that flew off onto the ground and let's see what we're working with. So I'm going to choose 3 of these, and I'm going to choose the blue, purple, and yellow orange. It's more of a red violet. Okay, now let's create a tree and have these be little ornaments hanging off the top. Okay, so let's see, they should all have the light and the crescents going the same direction. Let's make them go to the right-hand side. And what I'm doing right now is I'm arranging them where I want them on my black paper. So go ahead and make sure you have your black paper underneath. And if you don't have a black paper, you could try using a brown paper bag. That would actually look really neat. Or just white paper. So I figured out how I would like my ornaments to be hanging. I think that one will be a little higher. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. Now I'm going to use a glue stick so that I don't have little dots of glue creating texture on the front of the drawing or painting. So I opened my glue. Make sure you know where your lid is so you can close it back up again. I'm going to go all around that circle and fill in the inside. Okay, so I wanted this one here. Press that down all the way. I wanted this one right there. So I'm leaving my ornament kind of exactly where I want it glued so I don't forget the placement. Okay, right there. I'm gonna hold that one down for a little longer because my watercolored ornament was on slightly thicker paper, so it's a little harder to glue. I have to hold it down for 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, last one. Okay, now my fingers are getting sticky. There's that. Press it down. Awesome. Okay. Good job, everybody. Now we get to fill in the background with pine leaves and needles from our pine tree. Or if you're doing planets, you can add maybe a ring around Saturn or some fun stars, maybe a shooting star with a white colored pencil or crayon or oil pastel. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do these pine tree leaves and needles. But first, let's finish our ornaments. So right now they're just a circle, but we're going to put a little rectangle at the top with lines going down vertically. And then a pine tree is going to be right over that. And there will also be a little hook. So you can do that to all of your ornaments. Rectangle with some vertical lines and a hook. Rectangle, vertical lines. Let me bring that over a little bit. And a hook. Now we know where to put our branches, where the hooks are. Okay. So we're going to have a very large branch right there. Another one right there. And let's have this one be coming off the top of the page. Do you see that? Just came right off the top. Now you can't see this green very well, can you? So I'm going to use my white so you can really see it. So there's high contrast. I love contrast, which means either using white and black or contrasting colors. You can create bright contrast using those two things. And now let's go ahead and do these. They're like sideways V's or A's, which are going to be the little pine needles on the tree. Make them get a little bit bigger as they get closer to the base of the tree. And then they'll be smaller the further away toward the ornament they are. Now I'm going to go over that with more green. I'm going to do lots of these little needles. Because I don't know if you've ever seen a pine tree and the little pine needles up close, but there are quite a few of them, of those little needles. Well, you can really start to see how that looks like a tree now. You can always keep going over it with more white and green, really make it thick and full so it looks like it could actually hold that realistic looking Christmas ornament. That's it, everybody. Great job and happy holidays. Don't forget to submit your finished artwork to me. Thank you for your participation. Bye, everyone.